Okay, go. There you go.
There I go. Hello, namaste, salutations, good vibes, greetings, and thank you for joining us again for our third installment of Master Roachee Mondays with Master Roachee and Caitlin, the talent.
Hi, guys.
How is Caitlin doing tonight?
Fair.
Fair?
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah.
So why just fair? Well, I mean, I guess that's better than the normal okay.
I want a nap, and I only got like an hour nap because we had to do the show. So, I'm a little sleepy. So just fair.
Oh,
yeah.
But what are you drinking?
I've got a Red Bull here, up here. Well, it's almost empty.
Well,
and then I've got one of the Mountain Dew energy drinks.
Well, we know what happened
here.
the last time you drank a Red Bull before a show.
Good times.
It was not pretty, folks. We have a incredible show lined up for you guys tonight. And for the folks that are familiar with our Thursday Night Vibe show, we have occasional guests. Well, we've decided to bring that portion of the Thursday Night Vibe show here to Grow Fam and to our wonderful viewers on YouTube. So make sure if you want to participate in the comments that you get the StreamYard link.
Yes. I will try, if you guys pop up as Facebook user for us, I will try my best to redirect you in the comments with my Facebook and give you the link in the comments. But yes, do make sure you go to StreamYard.com and accept Facebook in order to be entered into our giveaways. You could also go through YouTube if you would prefer to use your YouTube rather than your Facebook account. It would be StreamYard.com/YouTube. But if you want entered in the giveaways, you gotta accept StreamYard.
That's right. We are going to give away some items tonight, so stay tuned, and we'll start the giveaway shortly. But we've got who is, before I reveal our special guest, because this guy is incredible. You're gonna love him. You're gonna learn so much. Who's our musical guest?
Our musical guest is a fella called Damon Bars.
Damon Bars, who happens to be, was referred to me by, yes, one of our followers.
Yes.
And it's his brother. So
yes.
Make sure you check out Damon Bars that we play later. You know what? We love music. We love introducing new talent. And
he's from Southern Indiana too.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I did not know that.
I meant to tell you that, but some things just slipped my mind.
You just aren't. You got to do better. You must do better. So, but we love introducing new talent. So if you have some original music, good quality audio and album art or video, send it to us and we'll take it into consideration. But we are all we're here to support our family, and that includes artists and musicians. And hopefully we can expand this to other things too.
Yes.
So tonight is being sponsored to you by Master Roachee's Garden, masterroacheesgarden.com. Check us out. We have all kinds of apparel. We're going to get some new stuff, our oils, our beard oils and CBD oils. We'll get into some more of that later on in the show, but check out masterroacheesgarden.com.
Real fast, I wanted to just say, hey, Tucker. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Charles. Hey, Cosmo. Hey, Jason. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Michael. I'll get the hang of this sooner or later.
Right. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for joining us. And let your friends know, because our first guest is Michael Webster. And this guy is just, number one, we only have beautiful people on our show. And he is a beautiful person and doing some beautiful things. And this is probably one of the most underbilled guests we've ever had. But he is full of information. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we bring Michael on?
Are you ready?
I am ready. I think Michael's ready.
Ta-da!
Hello, Michael.
Roachee.
Namaste.
How are you, sir?
I am.
Roachee, Kate, how are you? So honored and humbled to be here. Thank you so much for the invite.
You're very welcome. Thank you. We are just just beside ourselves about having you here. And I tell you what, this is all about you and what you're doing in the cannabis community.
Sure.
So let's start from the beginning, or wherever you would like. But
sure. Most of us in the cannabis industry, we have several beginnings. So, several beginnings, several pivots, several rebrandings, reinventions, all of the above. But my cannabis journey, my relationship with the plant is a long and storied one that goes back to my days as a kid in New York City, being justice impacted, having cannabis as an effective remedy for my mom when she was battling cancer. So I've seen all sides of the plant. A lot of folks today really have a tunnel vision view of the plant and is informed just by their experience, either from the euphoria or if they're cultivating. But it's such a dynamic plant that those of us who have dedicated ourselves to it usually have long, rich stories, and I feel like mine is one as well. But I find myself in the Michigan market, where I've been for a couple of years. When I left New York, I looked at the region and was looking for a healthy market that was ready to stand up a little quicker than New York. New York was, it was becoming the shit show that it is now, the regulated market.
Right.
So
Michigan actually has, as far as the states that have rolled out, a pretty good model.
Michigan, I have nothing but good things to say about Michigan, and a lot of it was luck. And I'll get into that a little bit later when we talk specifically about what I'm doing and my particular license. But Michigan, in a lot of ways, has been a model. Currently, the second largest market in the country, right behind California, and to be able to leapfrog markets like Nevada and Oregon and Washington and Illinois, other states that are more mature, really says something about what we're doing here in Michigan. So I just want to, acknowledge and salute the Michigan cannabis market for doing a lot of great things, and even the regulators. Usually there's usually a hostile adversarial relationship with the regulatory body, but starting with the way our regulatory body, which was the MRA, the Marijuana Regulatory Agency, showed enough progressivism that they became the CRA, the Cannabis Regulatory Association, administration. So even just little things like that, little gestures like that. And when I talk about being justice impacted in New York, I'm very specifically talking about being arrested for small amount of personal cannabis, and as an African-American male in New York, something like that really upended my trajectory, where, college and things like that.
Right.
It was really impactful. So it took a lot, doubling down on efforts to get back where I should have been. But, I look back at that as a blessing. Had that not happened, the lines would not have been drawn. I wouldn't have dug in as deep as I would have in my relationship with the plant, and I probably wouldn't be here now. So fast forward to Michigan, left New York, came to Michigan, where my social equity benefits were recognized. We talk about Michigan doing some things right. Even though I wasn't justice impacted in the state, they recognized the justice impact that I endured in New York. And I use the term justice impact. It really is injustice impact. There was nothing just about what happened to me and countless others who, from having a criminal record all the way to being incarcerated, is a travesty. So
right,
no real justice there.
No, and it's due to the war on people that has been waged for the past 50 years.
Absolutely, absolutely. You talk about you know, we look around the world and see the people at war with their own government, whether local, state, federal. Um, that's what we endured, and what we have been enduring with prohibition is a war. Anytime um, someone takes a natural resource away from you that has so much potential, not just to for mental health and obviously for entrepreneurship, but you know medical remedy, things like that. Anytime someone
Oh, and
criminalizes that resource,
right.
that's a war. That's a
Well,
war on the people.
well, this is also impacting textiles, plastics, a myriad batteries.
The
Absolutely,
environment.
So,
absolutely. I
you know,
mean,
it
when you look at hemp, and I only refer to hemp because of its industrial
right.
um, potential, but hemp, has the potential to meet every one of our needs as a human being. It can feed us, it can clothe us, it can shelter us, it can cure us, it can address mental health, it can condition the soil, and it is the plant. And its
Right.
sister cannabis, gives us the euphoria and again more healing and remedy for physical ailments and mental ailments. So just an amazing dynamic plant. So
Right.
and I think just the idea of the cannabis plant being on the federal schedule, the drug schedule, with heroin, cocaine,
Oh
I mean,
no. Oh, cocaine's a Schedule 2. It's much healthier
oh,
for you.
right. I misspoke. The methamphetamine, right. People don't ruin their lives with cocaine. They ruin their lives with cannabis. But
Right, right.
Yeah.
methamphetamines, fentanyl, heroin. The idea that cannabis could even be mentioned in the same conversation. You
Well,
know,
it's funny because a lot of the drugs that are on the Schedule 1 list have actually been proven in the past to help people. Cannabis, LSD, psilocybin, MDMA, all of
absolutely.
those have lengthy history starting back in the 50s.
Right. Right.
Much of them, they're the ones that are illegal. It just boggles my mind.
Yeah, and we're equally excited to see the psilocybin and psychedelic revolution. Detroit, the city of Detroit, and city of Ann Arbor here in Michigan are two municipalities that have legalized psilocybin. So we're excited about what's to come there. I mean,
Wonderful.
that may even hold more potential in terms of addressing mental health issues. So we're excited about the people just being able to take back, wrest control back of some of these things that have been provided for us by nature.
Certainly.
I might have to
Certainly.
move to Michigan.
You might have to move to
Yeah.
Michigan.
Or at least come
Well,
visit.
yeah,
Come for a trip.
well, we've been invited to move to Michigan. We were told that Indiana didn't deserve us and come to Colorado. We've been invited to Oklahoma.
Yes, yes.
So,
No, with an amazing platform like yours,
Yeah.
you should definitely be looking at doing on location stuff. I think you're an important voice in the space, both you and Kate. And want to give you your flowers now.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So back to my story. Uh, Again, with Michigan recognizing my social equity benefits, we were able to form our company and get off the ground, get licensed here in Michigan. And the low hanging fruit, there was a category of licenses that really did represent low hanging fruit. They were not cost prohibitive the way large cultivation or obviously retail licenses were. They were, you have to have $1 million just to start the conversation in some of those categories. But
Right.
they created
Right.
some smaller license classes that were attainable, and one of them was the cannabis event organizer license. Cannabis event organizer. What's a cannabis event? Like, what is that? And or more importantly, what could that be other than here's a little crumb, go nibble on that and be satisfied. But like always, the people take what is given to them and we repurpose and we find greater potential there. So I well, my company acquired the license really just to show potential investors and strategic partners and others in the space that we had been vetted and we were bona fide and we could be worked with. So we did the traditional pivot. We looked at retail, got excited about that. And, cannabis is a commodity. It's, it was always going to settle. Retail is a race to the bottom. You've heard all the cliches. Cultivation had its challenges. We knew that, long term, once federal legalization arrived, you'd have your cannabis coming from Colombia and Brazil and South America and undercutting cultivation here. So we pivoted away from that, and then we even looked at secure transport. Here in Michigan, you have to have cannabis products transported by secure transport. Probably the least sexy this category. A bunch of folks looking like bank guards,
But but a needed niche.
Yes,
I mean a needed niche, and sometimes that is one of the best areas to get your foot in the door.
Some of my best friends are secure transporters.
Right.
Yeah. No. I think until the fuel spiked, the cost of fuel spiked, a lot of folks, particularly from my network, were taking a hard look at secure transport. Now, all states don't have secure transport licenses. Some
Right.
do distribution licenses. I think California does distribution. Not sure about Illinois. I know New Jersey does distribution. So it is pretty unique. And I'll just tell you a funny aside about the secure transport license here. Some of these big multi-state operators, or these big cannabis companies that have more than one buildings, they actually have a campus. In order to bring cannabis products from one building 20 feet to the next building, they have to hire secure transport. So the secure transport is needed and is a valuable part of the supply chain. Absolutely. Yeah.
Outside the campus, I can see the need. Inside, I don't know. I
haven't quite figured it out, but for my secure transporter friends, I think it's a good thing because they get more work and form new relationships. But it does speak to the regulatory body here. We have strong regulations here and strong enforcement here. But I think fair enforcement. I don't think there's really super burdensome like some other markets. And that's just one of the things they baked in. They wanted, when they say seed to sale, they want to know where that product is all the time and that it's in responsible custody. So yeah. So we did the pivots, and at the end of the day, we started looking at things like price compression. The prices of cannabis products were coming down. There was a lot of saturation. A lot of folks had built out too big and were, in an unsustainable way. So we were like, what are we going to do now? And we had this license in hand, this cannabis event organizer license. So we said, well, let's lean into that. Let's see what we can do. It's really an uncharted territory. There were very few operational cannabis event licenses in the state. Point of fact, most of the cannabis event organizer licenses were grabbed by the retailers when they were getting licensed because they saw it. Oh, we'll get that license. It doesn't cost that much, and we'll be able to throw our own grand openings and our own activation events and our own parties and stuff, having no clue what it took to execute an event. Right. So all those folks are now calling me. Wait a minute, you have your own license. Can you take this off? So we looked at it and we said if it was something that we could lean in and concentrate all of our fire on this, we could actually help carve out this lane and try to determine what the cannabis event not only is, but what it could be. And I think that's where we really kind of got some traction, was this idea of reinventing the cannabis event. Most of us, whether we're in markets that are regulated or at least have a medical option, down to markets that have, no cannabis industry, no regulated industry. We've all been to cannabis events. It might just be it might be a music festival. But what really defined a cannabis event previously was, just getting a bunch of folks together, and lighting up, combusting. Maybe you had a stage, maybe you had some musical performance, some food trucks. But now with the progression in the laws, particularly here in Michigan, a lot of those things you can do legally on your own. You can operate in a private space, you can consume in your home and, extensions of your home. So it really did change the game in terms of what a cannabis event could be. So we saw it as an opportunity to raise the bar. We said, well, let's, if folks are not wowed by the prospect of being able to consume in public, if that's not enough, then we got to offer more. So then we started thinking about what we call normalized integration. Let's start bringing cannabis into normal recreational spaces,
Right on.
and get it out of the shadows. And now we know the younger generation, the millennials and the early millennials, and I guess the Gen Z now, they have really grown up with the idea of public consumption being at least quasi normal, maybe not fully, but it was at worst, it was a turn your head policy, look the other way policy. But for some of us and folks generations before us, they've never had their chance to come out of the shadows and enjoy the things that they do, paired with cannabis. They're still, even though there's legal opportunities, regulated opportunities to come out and participate, the taboo and the stigmas in a lot of ways is still there. So that became sort of our target market. So if we can get those folks out to events, that'll jumpstart this area of this cannabis event. So
right, and you're talking about my age group that was had their heads filled early on in the I was born in the 60s. But all through the 70s and 80s, all the negative propaganda and fun that was poked at cannabis and hemp and right. all. And it's still difficult for people to speak up and say, I smoke or I consume and all, especially in Indiana.
Right. So this idea that we could raise the bar on what a cannabis event could or would be, intersected with this whole form factor debate. Now, we've sort of classified flower and vape as cannabis 1.0, and you move to distillates and isolates, cannabis 2.0. And then we saw the beverage, whether it was the emulsion or the the nano emulsion or the powder, that represents cannabis 3.0. That's a 3.0 product. And how, where was that intersection where those products were being consumed and in public? So we looked at it and we're like, okay, there's a whole market of folks who don't necessarily want to smoke, don't necessarily want to combust, but they want to consume, they want to enjoy, and
right.
they want to recreate. If that's a word.
So, works for me.
Yeah. So it was kind of obvious, like, let's just integrate cannabis into these already established normalized spaces like dining.
Right.
So that's sort of where we landed. Now that's not our final destination, but where we are now, we are operating at the intersection of fine dining and cannabis. So you can we have the Falling Leaves infused dinner series that we host monthly. Small, intimate events, 50 to 75 folks, 4 courses of infused fine dining. So we're not talking about just infused, brownies and gummies and, maybe cookies and things like that. We really pushed into into the foodie sector, and folks just went nuts. They went bananas. They're like, I can get 4 courses of fine dining, tiger shrimp and filet mignon and all these things. And of course, I'm not a foodie or a chef. I don't come from a food background. So it was about connecting with the right folks. Right. And there are a whole core of really talented cannabis chefs out here who, for the most part, are operating in the shadows because it's probably the last form factor that's going to get regulated, because now you're talking about the FDA and you're talking about, state health departments and, foodborne illnesses and, just a whole other set of bureaucracy and red tape. So, but we wanted those folks to come out and be part of the movement. So we were able to draw some of that, connected with some amazing chefs. and jump started our dinner series. And we are on dinner number 4 coming up this coming Sunday, or I guess that's next Sunday. So we're really excited about it. It's amazing traction. But I tell you, Master Roachee, the most important part of it has not been the food. The food has been an amazing draw, something amazing to feature, but it really has become a complement to the networking component.
Right.
We are bringing in amazing allies, stakeholders, supporters, cannabis community members all together in the setting that historically represents where deals get done. If you look back in history, where were treaties drawn? Where were wars averted? Where were borders moved? At the dinner table, or at the bar,
Yes.
over drinks. So we saw ourselves as this potentially as this great broker, as this great connector, this platform that could bring folks together. So at my dinners, I have CEOs and COOs of brands sitting down with newly minted cannabis operators who just got licensed, have no idea where they're going, and they get to sit across the table from these folks and truly network.
Right.
I'm all for the consumption event, but a lot of these consumption events have been masquerading as networking events when they're really not. If the smoke is too thick in the room that I can't see you, the music is too loud, I can't hear you.
Right.
What kind of engagement are we offering, or are we accessing? So at our dinners, it's intimate, it's close knit, it's over a nice meal, 4 courses, and we do everything. It's a really guided experience, Master Roachee. We don't just throw folks into the deep end. We know that if you're combusting, you're pretty much in control of the level of euphoria and your experience. Right. If you go to a dinner, you really are submitting to an experience. You're letting go, you're ceding control, and as such, our highest priority was being a good guide, a good host, and really taking folks by the hand and really guiding them through this process. So credibility was, by far the most important thing to get people to trust us, to submit. It's like the roller coaster. You got to get on and you ride until it's over. You can't scream and say, I want to get off.
Well,
so
we actually met on LinkedIn
right.
through the I think the Falling Leaves event, or maybe it was the association. But anyway, I mean, what you are doing is so badly needed in all areas. And thank you for coming out and starting to pair this up and make it normal, make it acceptable. And you are right. I want to add one more place that a lot of deals are made, and that's the golf course.
Oh, well, it's funny you mention that. It's so fun, Master Roachee. I told you there's no coincidences, and good energy finds good energy. We have our Falling Leaves golf tournament coming up in June.
Oh, wonderful.
So again, you talk about a place where deals get made, but I joke, deals used to get made in the smoky back rooms.
Right.
Now we're redefining what the smoky back room is and who gets to sit in there.
Well, I'm so glad. We'll get right back to that. I'm so glad that you have made these events enjoyable, because so many times I've gone to places and the music, you are right, is so loud that I'm not there to party. I'm there to network. I'm there to talk to people.
Right.
If I want to party, I'll go party.
Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do, Master Roachee, from the advocacy, for training up our folks to be good operators, to know the business, to know the industry, and to help, undergird the industry and really be a stabilizing force. And if we're off, my mantra is, work hard, then play hard.
Exactly.
So if we want to go crank the music up and hot box it, that's all fine. But let's get our work done first. And a lot of that work has to do with the advocacy, lobbying, whether it's the municipal level, the state level, federal level, teaching. Not everybody's a lobbyist, not everybody's a strong advocate, but we can all be teachers. We can all help the collective effort of destigmatizing this plant. It's Sunlight is the ultimate disinfectant. Good information is the ultimate disinfectant against bad information or misinformation. And there's just so much misinformation codified. You know, it's you know
Yeah.
it's just cemented in our society. Reefer madness,
Yeah.
gateway drug. It's just crazy.
I'm going to hold you right there, Michael, for
Okay.
just a second, because I think we're going to do a giveaway, and we can
Nice.
start the discussion back up. But yeah, you know what? Information and education is so vital, and it's so important. Why don't you do falling leaves?
I already did.
Okay.
Kate is on it.
She is on it. So I'll tell you what. Let's get that hashtag up. And
there we go.
But yeah, and your events are bringing people together that normally wouldn't be in the same social circles or business circles.
Right.
So how successful has this been?
So it's been knock on wood. I gotta find some wood here, but it exponential growth does not really speak to it. We came out of a place like all cannabis operators. You take your lumps, you got to pay your dues, and we paid some pretty high dues and took some significant lumps, and we did not expect to be able to get up off the canvas and rebrand and pivot so quickly. But when you have something that the people want and need, it clicks. So like I said, we've been doing this for 4 months, and we're on our 4th dinner. So
that is amazing. Yeah. And I have to get to Detroit, and I want to take
we're gonna get you up here, we're gonna get you.
I want to take in one of your dinners.
Absolutely. Or we'll be bringing the dinner to you. We'll be coming close to you.
Oh, I love that. Now, I do not have a refined palate. I'm kind of a chicken fingers and French fries guy.
You're a man after my heart, man. But you don't have to be. Like I said, we have folks that come from all different walks, foodies, non-foodies. We even have folks who don't consume or consume traditionally, aren't edible, aren't consumable, friendly, or whatever the term is. They don't like to eat. So we provide them with non-infused options, and there's always we
wonderful.
Set up a combustion tent for our events so that folks can go, because it's just not the same unless you're
right. That's wonderful, because my wife, Mama Roachee, Crystal, she does not consume at all.
Okay.
So that is a wonderful option. So even people that don't consume but are interested or are active in the industry or wanting to get in the industry, could feel welcome at one of these events.
Well, Master Roachee, it's the the broad tent. It's the big tent policy. Everybody's welcome, and if we're going to normalize it, there are people who don't drink, but will go out with friends who drink, or go to an event where alcohol is the the social lubricant. So why we have a responsibility to build a big tent where everyone is welcome. I know many folks who are in the supply chain who just don't have that type of relationship with the plant. They're business folks, or they're advocates, or they're politicians, and they just don't they don't consume, but they're still welcome in our community. Unless you're hostile towards the idea of others consuming, then we've got a place for you. So at our upcoming dinner, I've got a number of folks who are coming who will be served non-infused food, and there for the networking.
Right. And I think this is just a brilliant idea, and I hope this I hope that you're doing 4 dinners a week across the country in multiple locations, or 4 dinners a month in multiple locations.
We should be so lucky. But I appreciate the good energy and the positivity. We do feel like when these things open up, when opportunities open up, when the needle does move, they usually look to the folks who have been operating. So like when recreational opens up in markets, they usually look to folks who have been operating in the medical market as great candidates to move into that space and to help, lay the foundation. So we are hopeful. It's wishful thinking and it's a ways off, but we would love to be the first restaurant chain in the nation that serves infused food, or that would that would be an amazing feat. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. But
I want my own table.
you get your own section, Master Roach.
All right. I have a lot of friends to bring to dinner.
We will rename the VIP Master Roachee section.
Yeah, sounds wonderful.
But back to the makeup of the dinners. When we know that when someone comes to the dinner who asks for non-infused food, they're there for true networking. So when these folks, and they're few, but when they do, the last thing I do is shun them. The last thing I do is think they're not going to fit in, because they're bringing an element to the event, not just a sober element, but they're obviously there for networking and business, and just the ability to bring folks from opposite ends of the spectrum. I keep harping on that, CEO to social equity operator. You couldn't get further from one another on the spectrum, and to have those folks sitting across the table, being able to hear each other, being able to exchange ideas and give advice and offer counsel is something that I think at the first dinner, I just stood in awe. I just looked around like, wow. And I can't take credit for it. I'm just, sort of a vessel. This is the community at work. This is what happens when you bring the right members of the community together under the right circumstances with the right resources. They'll create the event themselves. They'll create the magic themselves. So I don't take credit. I said a long time ago that Falling Leaves belongs to the people, and that I'm just a good steward right now, just trying to be a good steward.
Wonderful. And the other thing is image, especially in the business community. And when they hear that you consume, or you're in this industry, I think a lot of people think that because you consume, it doesn't make you as smart or as creative or as responsible, to start and run companies. So I think we're kind of under that shadow also.
Right. But that's what we're doing. We're knocking down. We're aggressively attacking the stigma. We're knocking down that stigma, knocking down the taboo, because, first of all, we know that, far more folks who will admit it on a survey, or they do consume, or they do have a positive attitude towards cannabis. And
here in Indiana, 80% of the residents support some type of cannabis reform.
Right.
From medical to adult rec and every place in between. But 80%, and yet we can't get much movement here.
Right. No, you and I had this a little bit of conversation before we came on the air.
Right.
About scheduling. Like, we don't necessarily, it's ridiculous. This current scheduling is ridiculous, but we don't need drastic overnight change. We don't need descheduling. We want descheduling. But if we could just get rescheduling, if we could just get cannabis off the Schedule 1, then, so many folks are unaware of what you do behind the scenes when you move from Schedule 1 to Schedule 2. For one, you open up, you turn on the financial spigot so folks can invest in research. Universities and other institutions of higher learning can then start researching and really doing peer-reviewed, producing peer-reviewed data and studies that confirm the benefits of this plant.
And that is so sadly missing. And that's what a lot of our politicians scream about. Well, we don't have the studies, we don't have the peer reviews. Well, you're not allowing us to do this.
And, to know that the University of Mississippi was the only place in the country that you could legally, grow cannabis, was just mind-boggling. So now that we see, and a state, again, we talk about how progressive a market like Michigan is. Michigan has created a license category for universities, for higher education, for research.
Wonderful.
So we've got several colleges and universities now in the state that have been granted licenses, and they're just doing the hard work of researching, and the data that they are able to produce is going to be the ammunition for our fight for federal legalization. So we're excited about that. But yeah, just moving to Schedule 2 would be, would be transformative.
It would be huge.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready for the drawing, Caitlin.
I'm getting there.
All right. Yes, and yes, we'd all like to see it unscheduled. We'd all like to see full legalization. But you know what? I've been at this for 40 years, 30. Anyway, I'm happy with baby steps. Any progression at this point from as long as I've been around it, it's a positive move forward.
See, I thought you coined the term BC. Before cannabis? Was that you?
There's no such thing as before cannabis.
No such thing.
No such thing. Cannabis has been with us
not as human beings. The plant outdates us, and I was explaining to someone who had just learned about the endocannabinoid system.
Right.
And I said, just stop and think about that for a minute. You don't have an endo-opioid system. You don't have an endo-alcohol system. You don't have, an endo big pharma system. You have an endocannabinoid system. That means you evolved with this plant.
Exactly.
Part of that means you share DNA. You share, substance and spirit with this plant.
And the coolest thing about the endocannabinoid system is it keeps homeostasis. It's there to keep our bodies in balance. And what better plant to help help balance you than cannabis?
Master Roachee, I use the analogy that I can't take full credit for it. I helped kind of flesh out the idea, but a friend of mine really conceptualized it. And trichomes, the part of the plant, the bulb that holds the essential oil, and if you're handling the plant, will come off as like keef, dust. Just think about it that if cannabis was growing naturally everywhere, like grass and trees, how much airborne trichome there would be, and we would be breathing that in. And you talk about living in harmony with nature. You talk about balance and homeostasis.
That is beautiful. That is, I've never thought of it that way.
Like I said, I can't take full credit for it. I contributed to the idea, but it really just took me back. Like, early humans, if we evolved with this plant, we weren't sophisticated enough to process it the way we do now. But we didn't have to, if it proliferated and trichomes were airborne and we were just breathing it in and getting our medical benefits, probably some of our euphoria, our balance, our homeostasis, all that, getting that from airborne trichomes. So maybe I'll trademark that. If somebody's out there, don't get airborne trichomes. I'm claiming that right now.
Right on. Get on that immediately.
If it does something for the community, then I'll forego those benefits. But yeah, it really is. It's exciting to know what could be, and disheartening to know that it should be and it isn't. So
Yeah, it's a shame, this whole thing. And we're facing, the funny thing is, we're facing the same forces that we faced when it became illegal back then. We're facing a complicit media. We're facing a few people that if cannabis goes legal, or it really affects their bottom line and their industries, that doesn't want to see it happen. We have the professional prisons that make money off of incarcerations. There are so many players out there, powerful players, moneyed players, that don't want to see any type of cannabis legalization.
Right.
So we're up against quite a fight.
Yeah. But we have so much on our side. In a lot of ways, the horse is out of the barn. We talked about states like Indiana that are, don't need, are in a relatively healthy financial state, and the argument can't really be made that we need the tax revenue, but the pressure is still there because the people, the legislation is what it is, but the real legislation, the real rules of our society are what the people believe in. I think about 55 miles an hour, the speed limit. That was an arbitrary number, based on some metric, but the people made it okay, 55, but just don't go over 65.
Right.
So we have real control. We have the real power, and I'm optimistic. Like I said,
I am too. I am too. And again, it's education, it's deprogramming, it's reaching out. Now, I also let me check where you want to do a giveaway.
We're getting there.
All
We're
right.
getting there. We're getting there. I'll give the signal. I'll give the signal when it's
tell our viewers to go out there and tag their friends and get them in here, get them signed up for this giveaway. We've got a great guest on, learning so much.
Yes.
Because, I always had a theory. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to be able to find the smartest person in the room. I'm pretty good at doing that.
Ultimate connector. Well, I'm just, I'm like I said, I'm just a vessel, and I told you backstage that I don't know everything. I know a lot about. I know a little bit about a lot of things, and I can have a conversation about a lot of things. But one of the most important things I did was humble myself. In pursuit of a career in this industry, and never let it become about me.
Right.
Or, because the minute you start doing that, when you start taking credit for things, you take your eye off of the ball, and there's always work to be done. And I use the mantra that you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. And it has always been about community in the truest sense of the word, collaboration. I just don't think there's enough. It's too empty of a space to compete. Collaboration is the only formula, right now. It's like fighting over granules of sand in the desert. It really is. Like Master Roach, you and I are dropped off in the middle of the desert, and we're going to start fighting over real estate. Like, there's just
I don't think so.
Yeah, right. So there's enough for everybody, and so much to be gained by locking arms and going together.
One of the fortunate things is we have a lot of people in our audience that have small business interests, and that leads me to the other side of things that you're doing. And would you like to kind of expand on the association and tell us a little bit about that and what it's set up for and supports? Great.
Absolutely. So, not only am I the founder and managing member of Falling Leaves Events, but I'm also an active member and committee member at the NCIA, which is the National Cannabis Industry Association. Sorry, the NCIA is the largest trade organization for cannabis, and what we do is we're obviously in states where there are legal markets, working in support of operators and helping to bolster the industry. But in those states where there is no market, like Indiana, we're in there lobbying. We're spending dollars. We've got boots on the ground. We're talking to politicians. So it's an amazing organization.
Right.
And what I do specifically is on every Thursday, I host and moderate the social equity, the weekly video calls. So kind of our show, our podcast.
Right on.
One of my highest honors is to do that.
I have not caught that show yet. I need to. In fact, I just recently found out that you hosted it. I've been following the NICA for a while.
Sure.
And I'm also a member of the Midwest Hemp Council. And
nice.
Policy actually circle member. So this is some very important stuff. But you are really talking to the small business and are helping them out.
Yes. Most of our members, particularly the ones that I deal with, are sole proprietors or small social equity operators, just getting licensed, just getting out into the space, and we provide that support, resources. We provide access to other mature members of the supply chain. We host conferences, regional conferences, national conferences, where folks can come for free and get access to resources. So it really is a huge support network that we've cast, across the entire country. And It really is a benefit, and I think the biggest challenge is just getting the word out about the association, because just it's not an everyday, it's not your local dispensary. You're not going to hear it about it, but those folks who are serious about operating in the industry and building a career, whether an owner, an operator, founder, entrepreneur, or just building a career as an employee, it's an amazing thing to have a national organization that stands behind you, that can connect you, because there's always something you're going through that other folks in another state or another market are going through. So
exactly. And this is something I want to join the association once we have our. Oh, go ahead, Caitlin.
Lori wants to know what we're giving away.
Right now we're giving away a beard oil.
I think we should do a little bit more than that.
Well,
I'm making these people listen. Well, listen,
me?
because I'm making these people work real hard. I just if we get one more hashtag, because we have 34 entries right now. We get one more hashtag. We need to give away just a little bit more than a beard oil, I feel like, because I made these people put in the work, and I didn't even give them an inkling of how many hashtags I was wanting.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
While you, Master Roachee and Kate, while you all are conducting the giveaway, I'm gonna step away just for a split second. I'll probably be back before you can even bat your eyes. 1 second.
Certainly. All right, I'll tell you what, Caitlin. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Hit me.
We are going to do a deal that we have never done before. We will give away an original rolling pit tray.
Yeah.
Of the aqua over orange, 2 packs of papers, and how about a Master Roachee beard oil?
I think that's pretty good.
Will that work?
I think that's pretty good. I think that's top notch.
You gotta tell me.
I mean, I think that's good. I made these people work their butts off to get 35 hashtags.
All right. Well, then you know what? Let's. Did we get 35?
We did get 35 hashtags.
Wonderful. I'll tell you what. Let's hit that wheel, and let's find out who our lucky winner is this
drum roll, please.
Monday.
Thank you.
I gotta get a new microphone mount. Greg Baker Jr.
Congratulations,
Greg. I think we just sent him something, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he won last week. Boy, I tell you, Greg, you well, hold on.
He's on a hot streak.
Yes.
He's here.
We got to make sure he didn't hash and dash.
Right.
I'm setting a timer. I got you.
Timer. Greg, you got to let us know. You got to let us
Greg
know that he's still here. Yes, he is.
Setting a timer, Greg.
Yes, he is. And, we'll be giving away, not tonight, but maybe next week. Maybe not, another Grow Fam box. And you know how great Grow Fam boxes are. So, make sure, because we're not going to announce how many, or anything on our giveaways. You have to be here, and it just happens. So you're not going to be sure of whatever you're going to get until it's actually time to sign up.
Okay, Greg's here.
All right, Greg, congratulations.
He said, "That's crazy. My phone was about to die. Thanks so much."
Yeah.
Tell him we should go play Lotto.
Right. Yeah. Win and end it. Oh, well, I won. Sorry, my phone died.
It's crazy because he just won on Grow Fam's big, Ash and Dreadful's big giveaway the other day.
He's got the game figured out.
He needs to play the lottery, invest in some stocks, do something, bud.
And Happy Hippie is going to be doing our merchandising moving forward. We're going to be talking to them here again in another couple of weeks. We're going to have some new designs coming out, some hoodies, some other cool Master Roachee merchandise, stuff that you haven't seen yet. So stay tuned, and remember to support our friends here at Grow Fam. Ash and Dreadful and the Happy Hippies and everybody else. what Michael's talking about is exactly right. A rising tide raises all ships, and we're a community, and we're here to support, help, and educate each other. So I want to thank everybody. And Michael, let's kind of get back to what we were talking about as
Sure.
far as NICA.
Yeah. So again, if you look at most industries, auto industry, tech, there's always sort of a parent organization, or most of them have multiple trade organizations,
Right.
that represent varying interests. And because there are just now I will say there are many state level trade organizations. Like here in Michigan, it's the Michigan Cannabis Industry Association, and you'll find those.
Right.
But one that harnesses the power of national reach. It's almost unimaginable what they're able to do. A lot of these markets, particularly the way recreational markets came online, it will pop up. It was like the whack-a-mole. It was pop up in Michigan, pop up in New Mexico, and
Right.
really disparate, spread out, sparse. So organizations like the NCIA become that connective tissue between markets. Folks that you ordinarily would not meet, would not cross paths, and
Right.
so that's where the real power, I think, has been, is being that connective tissue, producing regional conferences and events, so that folks, I imagine, when they do, they do a regional conference in Northern California, so you're drawing folks from Washington, folks from Oregon, folks from Nevada, folks, from the region, and the power in that, to bring folks together to learn from one another's markets, mature markets, immature markets, is really amazing.
And that's so important. And one of the reasons why we're still here in Indiana, because I would love to be dealing in not only in CBD but in cannabis. I would love to have Master Roachee as incorporated Delta 9 into our oils and all.
Sure.
But we can't do this in Indiana.
Yeah.
And we're so isolated in parts that we don't have these networking events or these larger associations yet in the state, because we are so far behind.
Right.
That online or traveling great distances is the only time that I have access to people and networking and resources, which is very difficult. Just getting a small business going. But let alone a small business in the CBD cannabis arena, is with constantly changing laws and nobody really taking the lead, because, like you said, it's been so whack-a-mole-ish.
Yeah.
And finding trusted sources to help guide you and give you that. I'm the creator.
And the access is only good as it is consistent.
Right.
When the powerful networking group comes to town once a year, it's like, okay, I'll get a little bit of benefit in the run up to the event. I'll get a little bit, after event, post event momentum, but the other 10 months out of the year. So it's really about that consistent access.
Right.
Is really important.
And coming from yes.
Greg has said that, I just realized that I won some beard oil from you guys last week. It hasn't got here yet. Is this the same thing, beard oil? You can go ahead and give it to someone else, since I already have some on the way. I didn't know what this was for, or I wouldn't have entered again. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine.
No worries. Great attitude, Greg.
And that's the way everybody is here. Actually, entering now, you've got the beard oil. It's on the way, and we're giving away that original rolling tray and papers. So go ahead, feel free to enter again. And if you win at that time, you can decide if you wish to send that to somebody else.
Sure.
But coming from I'm more on the creative side. I'm an herbalist. I'm not a businessman. I'm trying. I'm learning. I've got the formulation parts and some other parts down, but I've got business questions, and it's hard to find. There's plenty of people that would charge me a lot of money
Sure.
to answer my questions, but I would rather make friends in the industry where I can work together and help them in the ways I can, and they can help me with questions I
Sure.
have.
Absolutely.
And that's what those networking events are
Yeah.
so crucial to
Yeah.
building.
Yeah. I tell a lot of my folks, particularly newbies, you should never have to pay for an introduction to someone. You should never have to pay to meet someone and have a conversation. If
Right.
you're talking about work that is monetized and and the value is appreciated and there's consideration, okay, go ahead and spend the money. But this idea of I'm going to pay a consultant to help introduce me to influencers, I mean, you might as well just give them the money and let them run off because, it's just unscrupulous. You should not do that.
Right.
But circling back to your Delta 8, just that conversation, I can't think of a more bungled something that really amplifies how bungled the management has been of obviously the reintroduction of hemp and the regulation of cannabis. I mean, you had markets where one side of town, Delta 8 was illegal, and you go to a gas station, it's just been a mess. And I think it really does highlight the absurdity of what's going on, that if we take this same plant and we take cannabinoids from it, and get creative, that we can come up with a product that, creates some euphoria, maybe not the same as THC,
Right.
but, that can be legal. But if that same plant has THC at a, low enough level, it's legal. But if I go over the 0.03, then it's just ridiculous.
Well, I think once cannabis goes legal nationally, that the recreational Delta 8 markets are going to drop off. But I really like Delta 8 more than Delta 9 for the formulations that I'm doing. I think it has more therapeutic benefit than Delta 9.
Right.
So there's going to still be a large area, and that's the area that could possibly, not yet, could affect me in some of my formulations because I do use Delta 8.
Right.
There was a point to that.
I did that. That was my fault. I took us off course and jumped back to the substantive point that you were making, and it is an important one, is the business training. Data, we have been operating long enough, and there's enough data to confirm that giving a cannabis operator an investment check, $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, does not increase their chance of success in any demonstrable way. It's the business training, it's the resources, it's the wraparound services, it's the mentorship. It's
exactly.
And so many of us get into this industry, and it's such, an uphill battle to get operational. And you feel like once you get operational, I can now wear all these hats. A CEO skill set is a very specific, who was it? Liam Neeson's a very specific set of skills. They are not innate skills. They are not inherent. They don't come with the license. So we either have, if we're the geeks in the garden cultivating, or if we're in the lab processing, let's leave the business to the business folks. There are enough cannabis folks who are very talented and very able to help us run our businesses. Everyone from fractional CMOs and CEOs to traditional folks who fill those roles. But this idea that I can, and it hit me. I had to get some business coaching. I had to get CEO training to be a CEO because I didn't know what I was doing. Make the hard decisions, and I would react emotionally, and I would, all these things that CEOs and other C-suite executives and other folks in the supply, in management, they're trained to do these things. They've studied, they've learned, and they know how to do it. So
Yeah,
So
the last thing I want to do is run a business.
right.
So since Greg said he wants us to pass it on,
Yes.
I think for his goodwill, we should still send him an original rolling tray and a couple packs of papers, if that's okay with you.
Very nice.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, let's do
Because
that.
he's got the beard oil
He's got
coming.
the beard oil, right?
He's got it coming. But I think for this next giveaway, we should do another beard oil original rolling tray and a couple packs of papers. If y'all can get my
yeah, and we'll certainly send Greg out a pack of a couple packs of papers, which are limited edition. Greg, I would use one. I would put one away because these will never be offered before. They were handed out at CannaCon in Chicago 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, these are really unbleached hemp papers. They are.
Those are the ones you don't want to use. Put those up.
Right.
Collector's items.
Yes.
We hope. Right now we're doing well enough to keep the lights flickering on the business, but it's a process. When you're talking about ballet and bending and weaving, I mean, within 5 minutes, I could be ecstatic. I could be crying. I could be huddled under my desk.
It's the life of an entrepreneur.
And then there's me, the voice of reason, that's like, get your shit together. You've got this. Stop.
Right.
Knock it off.
No, there are some really basic principles. I think, some advice I would give to, entrepreneurs, particularly in cannabis, folks just starting out. And, there's the basic stuff like, it's a long game. It's not a short game. Getting a license does not necessarily mean that they're going to back the Brinks truck up on your front lawn, or set the ATM up on your front lawn. It's just not going to happen. It is, our regulation is second only to the pharmaceutical industry. There is a really high threshold for regulation, and any cannabis company, whether plant touching or non-plant touching, has to understand that while you're a cannabis company, more important than that, you're a compliance. So you should be a compliance company.
Right.
And what I realized, Master Roachee, beyond that was before we were a compliance company, we needed to be a risk management company. So it went even further than just being compliant and checking boxes. It was, when it comes to your brand, you're only as good, as your reputation. And one slip can undo all of your hard work. So go slow. It's funny, you mentioned baby steps.
Yep.
I saw the greatest meme. I guess it wasn't really a meme. It was just a photo on social media. And it had two ladders side by side. And on one ladder, it had the rungs were really close together.
Right.
And that person on that ladder was way up high. The other ladder was about 10 feet between rungs. Right. And the person was standing on the ground, reaching up for the first rung. So again, the importance of baby steps or small steps. And they don't have to be baby steps, just small incremental steps.
Right.
Cannabis is a long game. If you don't love this plant, if you don't love this, the potential of the plant, if you don't love the community and the industry, this is not for you, because you're just not going to make you're not going to make it rain right away. You're not going to get the bag right away. It takes time. But if you build a solid brand, we have an amazing opportunity to get in on the ground floor of an industry. And again, I think this hasn't happened since maybe the tech industry, the tech boom of early 2000, or maybe before going back to automobiles or discovery of oil and petroleum products. We don't get the opportunity to get in on the ground floor. Here you have an opportunity to get in on the ground floor of a healthy industry, one that could save the world.
Exactly.
So it really is worth it and important to go slow and take steps, and build your team. There's all the cliches that go with traditional business. They do apply to cannabis.
They do.
A strong team, and and know what you can do and what you can't do. Don't try to be everything. Don't try to be the accountant and the attorney and all of these other things. Be the chief innovative officer. Be the chief idea officer. Be the chief change maker or chief passion officer, and delegate. And build a strong team where you can get everything done with the right resources. So
right,
that's just some of the advice I would give.
right now we are all unpaid interns. We are still at that stage
There you
of
go. There you
of
go.
the
That's a great
business.
attitude to have.
And we're growing, and I want to take it slow. I want to do it right. I put my face on our product. I mean, that's how much I believe in
That's right.
the healing that hemp and cannabis products can have. Now, do you want to hear my conspiracy theory on the DEA and Delta 8?
Absolutely. Let me have it.
All right. Now, this is my conspiracy because, most of this stuff we thought was settled. In 2021, I think it was Alabama that they ruled that, hemp wasn't a controlled substance, or hemp derivatives weren't controlled substance. It was upheld by the Supreme Court. Now they're splitting hairs on the synthesis, on the process.
Right.
Why I agree that we need to tighten up and have regulations on how we extract, and to make sure that we're getting good products out there industry wide. And I think that we are pretty good at maintaining or doing that. There's some unscrupulous players out there.
Mhm.
However, if they do this and say that they come down and you can only be a licensed extractor or something to get this product, and the only people that happen to have patents or machines or the money to do this are the large pharmaceutical industries. They couldn't get their hooks into the plant or anything else, but if they could control the synthesization process, that's where I think a lot of this is coming from.
Yeah, I don't think you're off base there, Master Roachee. It's you're right. They couldn't wrest control of the plant. So let's go after the cannabinoids and the synthesizing processes, and just either create burdens that are going to keep folks at bay while they amass resources and get a hold of the market.
Right, working on their own pivot.
Yeah. Because the synthetics are, other than flour, they've already got the right formula for cannabinoids to mirror the euphoric experience in beverages and edibles. That you can't replicate flour. You can't replicate sun-grown, natural land-raised
Right.
food. That will always belong to the earth and to the community.
And that's a beautiful thing about this community. A lot of them are natural, organic growers.
Yes, and that's so important. That sustain. Something we haven't talked about. Maybe when I come back next time, we can talk about sustainability. But who's teaching our young cultivators who are coming up how to manage resources? Who's using zeolite or zeolite to conserve water? Who's using living soil? I'm a big proponent of living soil grows.
Yes.
These things are so important because it's not going to be worth it if we, are able to harness the power of this plant to cure physical ills and mental ailments if we destroy our environment.
Right. And that's the crazy thing. Are we doing more harm or good on some of these large commercial grows?
Yeah. I love that you use the word homeostasis, because that's what the balance, that has to be at the fore of what we're doing here, is not creating more pollution, not creating more waste and river, runoff into our rivers and streams and stuff. We have the technology, we have the resources. We just got to have the will to be committed to slow down a little bit and get things right.
Right. And I was pointing out on the Thursday night Vibe series that, people were talking about ecology and, resource managers back in the 30s, talking about how hemp would cut down on the chemicals in the water for paper pulp producing. How 1 acre of hemp over 20 years produced the same amount of paper pulp that a 4.2 acre lot of wood or trees would do.
Right.
And that's hemp in rotation. That's not growing hemp every year.
Right.
So Yeah, I mean, we knew the answer. We had the answer back in the 30s.
We did.
It's just funny.
And you know, Master Roachee, it's so interesting when you talk about the 30s. The 30s are, you know, other than, you know, the reference point for criminalization, no one really talks about what was going on socially then.
Oh, right.
And I learned an amazing lesson recently about the intersection of jazz and cannabis.
I am a huge jazz fan. That I mean,
So you'll appreciate this.
yeah, I got my Wes Montgomery trio poster back. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. So you'll appreciate this, and
Right
I
on,
hope
right
that,
on.
I hope that some of the young folks can. At the time, cannabis, particularly flower, smoked cannabis, was a mainstay for jazz musicians in the, you know, in the early days in the 30s.
Louis Armstrong especially.
Right,
He
it was
openly spoke
commonplace.
about it.
And I'm not saying this was the only reason, but this was one of the reasons, or one of the threads on which they pulled for criminalization, was that it's when these jazz musicians started to organize and pursue the, you know, control of their publishing and other sort of, you know, unionizing type efforts.
Right.
Boom, slap cannabis criminalization on them, and now you're able to control this population and quiet this population and tamp them down. So again, I'm not saying they were solely, you know, that's the only reason, but there are all these offshoots on this, on the branch of the cannabis branch, that these are stories that have just gone, you know, ignored.
Oh no, that is a huge thing. Was going against black and brown communities. That was their whole game of calling it marijuana. And
that was it. That's why I never use the term marijuana unless, you know, I absolutely have to, unless it's, you know, but I try not to traffic in that terminology, because that is, you know, technically a slur. It was associated with, you know, Mexican laziness and shiftiness.
Right.
You know, using that term to slur an entire nation, you know, similar to opium with the Chinese. And so, you know, we've seen it, and doing things like dropping that terminology and using the term cannabis are really important, not just to be, you know, hip and on the cutting edge, but there's real depth and real meaning to the use of the word cannabis. That's the name of the plant.
Yeah. Oh, racism was the third leg of the stool for making it illegal.
Yeah,
plain and simple. Again,
how could you go from mandating people grow, you know, requiring by law that folks grow hemp, to now this is illegal? Only some silly social construct like, you know, racial categorization and
right.
Well, they would explain something as ridiculous as that.
Yeah, they had to find their boogeyman. They had to find their monsters and point to it.
You got it.
And then just outright lies like reefer madness and other crap that was being puked out at that time.
And you think about the lives that are, you know, have been lost over the decades.
Oh, the family's been ruined.
Other, you know, that lives that otherwise could have been saved, or quality of life that could have been maintained when people were suffering with terminal illness and stuff like that. It's a real travesty. But you know, that's we are sort of the children or the offspring of that fight, and we're here to carry the mantle and help build this new industry. And I'm optimistic about it, and I'm excited.
I am too.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, you know what? It has been amazing having you on tonight, and I am going to hold you to it. And we're kind of booked on guests on the Monday night, but if you're interested, I will get you on a Thursday night show.
Master Roachee, you call me and I'll be there. This has been such a pleasure. I do my fair share of interviews and podcasts, and rarely am I able to, you know, just tap into the energy and kick back and relax and know that I don't have to rush to try to get a point across, that we'll get to it in the organic conversation. And this is what it was. I'm so appreciative of you, Master Roachee, and your co-host, Kate, and really to your audience. Without an audience, what are we doing? We're just talking shit. So, So I appreciate the folks out there who have, who have, you know, recognized our credibility and recognize us as a source of information. And that's all we're here to do, is to help correct the messaging, to help educate, help share what we have learned and the resources that we have access to. And this has just been amazing. So I really appreciate it. You just let me know when, and I'll be back. You don't have to ask twice. I really appreciate that. If I can get one opportunity before I jump, just to plug.
Certainly.
So our Falling Leaves Infused Dinner Series, dinner number 4 is coming up. If you have, I know it's late notice, but if you happen to be in the Metro Detroit area, Sunday, February 26th, 5 to 9, we're offering dinner number 4. Great networking, great food. And again, I know this is short notice, so let me go ahead and plug the next dinner. Dinner 6, we're busting out of the Metro Detroit area. We're going to another region, which is Bay City, about an hour.
All right.
About an hour north of Detroit, and we will be there the day after St. Patrick's Day with our St. Patrick's Day hangover dinner.
All right.
We did not want to compete with alcohol that's a sacred tradition on St. Patrick's Day, so we didn't want to interfere. But we said, let's set up a dinner to catch those folks and help reinvigorate and revitalize those folks who have hangovers. So we'll be up at the Sky Room on March 18th, the day after St. Patrick's Day, Saturday, for dinner. You can go to our website, fallingleavesevents.com, and tickets and menus are up, so you can see what you'll be eating. When you talk about growth, Master Roachee, we started with one entree, offering one option. We've grown to be able to offer multiple entrees and a vegan option. We know a lot of vegans out there, particularly in the cannabis community. So we're trying to meet folks where they are. So come join us.
I've been watching the menus.
Trust
me, I may not have a refined palate, but that doesn't mean I don't like food.
I can't always appreciate what our chefs come up with, but I know by the response from the community that they're spot on. So so we'll be offering the dinners on a monthly cadence. We are pushing into Missouri's our next state we'll be pushing into. So we appreciate your support, and we'll be coming to a municipality and a market near you with our dinner. We feel like we've got something really exciting and really important for the community, both the dinner and the networking opportunity. So check us out.
Yep. Well, you make sure that you share all of the information with
Absolutely.
me, and I will disseminate it amongst our audience and
absolutely
and give them opportunities to share that also.
And I just wanted to let you know that our fam is giving you lots of love in the comments. I don't know if you can see it.
I can't see him. I was looking for him, but I can't see him. But thank you so much. Just, I don't feel worthy. You're making me feel worthy, and I appreciate it. If you want to connect further, we're on all the social platforms. We're at Falling Leaves Events, and we're Falling Leaves Events on LinkedIn. That's where we're most active. But yeah, reach out. Let's connect. We don't turn down conversations. We don't ignore emails. We know this is still grassroots building we're doing. So no matter where you are on the spectrum, if you want to connect, reach out. We'd love to have a conversation, explore synergies. But other than that, just keep following us and keep supporting us. And we'll be bringing these events to a venue near you.
Wonderful, man.
Thanks so much.
Have a blessed night, and we will definitely be hooking up again.
Okay, you guys, and before I go, I just want to thank you, Master Roachee, and you, Kate, for the very, very important work that you're doing. A lot of times, our smaller platforms get overlooked. Without our smaller platforms, there are no big platforms. There are no access for folks who are in information deserts. Like in Indiana, where there's not a lot of there's no regulated markets, not a lot of activity and advocacy. So I just want to acknowledge and salute you guys for the work that you're doing, and I really appreciate it. It's a true honor to be here. True honor. Thank you so much. Everybody be safe. Enjoy. Take care. And I'll see you next time.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care.
See you later, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Okay.
So
I think we're going to run an ad before we spin the wheel.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's not run an ad.
What?
I'm going to change it up on you. I want to hear some music.
Oh, you want to? Okay. How about we do this then?
Okay.
We compromise.
Compromise.
And
I don't know if I like that word.
And music, then ad, then wheel.
Music, then ad, then wheel.
How you feel about that?
I feel good.
Okay.
That gives me warms and fuzzies. Oh.
Sorry about that, buddy.
Oh.
Sorry about that, buddy. I should.
Since Michael's off, I'm taking the headphones
That
off.
was the wrong button. Sorry
Oh my
about that, buddy.
God, I'm deaf anyway.
Can you hear it all now? Hang on. Okay.
The bells.
Okay. I gotta stop,
You gotta stop.
drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Yes. I gotta do that.
Yes.
And do that.
Do that.
And do that.
Do that.
All right.
All right.
Ba-dum.
I'ma run a check up all the way to the ceiling. Double shot up in my cup, just the way I've been feeling. And the scar's still bleeding, no, I'm still healing, and my soul's still freezing, but I still give it my all.
What?
Through the blood and sweat and tears, that's why I'm always gonna be.
We were having problems. I
Don't
deafened
you
your
dare
husband
just
more.
disappear. With you, my vision's clear, I can see it all. I'ma get a couple plaques, put them on a wall. I'ma make it fucking rain like a waterfall. You can live all your dreams, we can have it all. Oh, everything you want, everything you wanna see. We can stay right here, we can go overseas. We can roll another blunt while we chill in the trees. I'm down for you, while you down for me. Just take me home, never good at going. So you got my soul, and I hope that you know that you're my everything. Yeah, my heart gonna break if you ever go away. Yeah, you give me strength in the worst of days. I'm gonna check up all the way to the ceiling. Double shot up in my cup, just the way I've been feeling. And the scar's still bleeding, no, I'm still healing, and my soul's still freezing, but I still give my all. Through the blood and sweat and tears, that's why I'm always gonna be right here. Don't you dare just disappear. With you, my vision's clear, it's HD. I need your love to save me. Like a raft in the ocean, got me holding on tight. In the middle of the storm, you give me light. Don't need these drugs, you give me high. Don't need no time, let it pass us by. Under the stars while we count the sky. Forever mine until I die. I'ma run a check up all the way to the ceiling. Double shot up in my cup, just the way I've been feeling. And the scar's still bleeding, no, I'm still healing, and my soul's still freezing, but I still give my all. Through the blood and sweat and tears, that's why I'm always gonna be right here. Don't you dare just disappear. With you, my vision's so clear. You can say it's 2020, I've been counting on. I've been out here getting money, I need your love. Won't nobody take it from me or I hit 'em up. Drum mag in the Tommy like a dolphin. You can say I'm addicted like some morphine. Feel my pain like prescriptions, you're my everything. Can nothing tear us apart, and I've been right here waiting all the way from the start.
Namaste, greetings, and good vibes. Master Roachee from Master Roachee's Garden. And if you're not hearing,
Your beard looks amazing.
then you're not using Master Roachee's Garden beard oil. Nag Champa and Oak Moss Amber. Check us out at masterroacheesgarden.com. Namaste.
Testing. 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 Testing.
Testing.
Testing.
How is that?
Testing.
Little whisper in your ear.
Testing.
So that is a blast from the past. That was an old
What?
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 The reel you played.
What?
That's something I thought we should start doing is playing some of our old reels again and having some fun with those.
Yes.
Yes, you agree?
I make
yes?
good reels.
No.
Whenever
yes?
we have time to make reels, I make good reels.
Well, we need to get some pictures tonight because we have we need to get some new pictures. What do you think about that, Caitlin?
I think it's time to spin the wheel.
You think it's time to spin the wheel?
I think it's time to spin the wheel.
Let's spin the wheel.
Draw.
Spin, 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 spin,
Draw.
spin, spin, spin. Anthony Berry, congratulations.
All right. All right.
Is Anthony still in the house?
Yes. Nobody tag Anthony. However, if he is still in the house, we will find him.
Yes, Anthony. Anthony.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Where are you, buddy?
Anthony. If we keep calling him, he will come, right? That's how that works.
And they will come.
He's here.
All right. Congratulations, Anthony. Well, give them the information.
Okay. What we're going to need you to do is we're going to need you to send a direct message to Master Roachee on Facebook.com with your address, the scent of beard oil you would prefer, and the color of original rolling tray that you would prefer. Our scents of beard oil are Nag Champa and Oak Moss and Amber. And then our original rolling trays come in either orange or aqua.
That's aqua. Aqua.
Aqua.
Aqua. Aqua.
Aqua.
Aqua.
Aqua.
I don't know. It doesn't look much like
Aqua.
it doesn't look much like water to me. But hey, that's just me, right?
I assume it's just you.
Of course, it's just me. If it wasn't me, who else would it be?
Mm-hmm.
So did everybody get what'd you think of the discussion on the Delta 8 and the DEA? Did that help out a little bit? I know we kind of went through it, but I'll recap just very quickly because I had a lot of emails and a lot of questions regarding the Delta 8 and what was going on. And instead of trying to respond to everybody, I thought, what a better way than just to kind of tell you what I know up to date. Now, and I'll start back in 2018. We had the Farm Bill, which legalized industrial hemp and CBD. And from that, we started getting extracts and isolates. The Alabama had a hearing in 2021 on whether to consider these substances a controlled substance. It was found that they were not a controlled substance. They were legal under the 2018 Farm Act. The Supreme Court upheld this. Now the DEA is coming in and really splitting hairs. Instead of the FDA or the Department of Agriculture, overseeing the hemp industry and all, it's the DEA. The DEA is a law enforcement agency.
I'm trying to get our spammer removed, fam. Don't worry. I saw it. And I'm trying to get him out of here.
Oh, get him out of here.
I got you guys. It's all good.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. So instead of having, the Food and Drug or, the Department of Agriculture overseeing all of this, they've got the Department of the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency. Of course, they don't want any of this stuff to be legalized. They want to make it as hard as possible to do this. So in this letter, they're splitting a hair, going, yeah, even though this was legalized in this form, however, as soon as you take it and you make it into this form, it's now illegal. So naturally occurring Delta 8 is legal. It is the synthesized Delta 8, Delta sub 9, or Delta sub 9 THCO, Delta 8 THCO and THCO that they're having the issue with. A couple of things, if my suspicion is right, and this is a grant from the pharmaceutical company for the synthesization and extraction, that is going to severely decrease the amount of products that are available on the market. And that is going to be that's going to be a terrible thing. It's going to hurt a lot of people. Thank goodness that only a small amount of our products even use that, and the Delta 8, it's in our Ambrosia Nights, from what I can ascertain, is a natural occurring Delta 8. Kind of explains the pricing or the cost of it. So that's what is going on right now. It's a power grab from the DEA. I have a feeling even if they do this, there's going to be some lawsuits.
Ash removed the spammer.
Why, thank you.
Big preach, Ash. Big preach.
Thank you very much, Caitlin. Now we have found a legitimate use for Caitlin removing spammers.
Well, Ash did it. I just reported him to Ash.
Okay.
That's all I did, buddy.
Is Ash on?
He was for a second.
Oh, all right.
Say hello.
I would say hello, Ash. Namaste, my friend. Namaste. I hope you guys are digging the show tonight. Next week, we have a special guest.
A special guest.
Another special guest, another beautiful person, Alana Cohen, better known as the pop publicist. She is great. She has a PR, public relations agency that she just started up, kind of going out on her own. She does my PR. She's got me on several shows. So it's going to be great talking to her. She was in High Times at one point as Women in Cannabis. So, definitely check her. She is great. You're going to love her. She is just bubbles and energy. So she will be here next Monday. And as far as music, I don't know.
We work on it.
I don't know. Somebody send me some more good music leads. We want to put them on. We're asking for you to share. Oh, pardon me.
Ash said he's been on for the whole show.
Oh,
it's
Ash,
been on a
thank you.
while. We're making dog food. Okay, so I put up our last hashtag, by the way.
All right, wonderful.
It's hashtag ginger.
Ginger.
Like
I previously was.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm getting more gray than ginger now.
Yeah. That's because your body, as you age, stops producing melanin.
Oh.
In your hair follicle regions. So when your hair turns gray, it's due to lack of melanin.
Don't see that happening.
No, that's male pattern baldness.
No, that's a razor.
Yeah, but if you didn't shave your head,
I would have a ponytail.
You would have male pattern baldness.
I would have a ponytail.
In
fact, I had a ponytail before this happened.
Did you know that male
This has been shaved for 20-some years now.
Did you know that male pattern baldness affects 80% of men and women in America?
No, I did not. You are just full of interesting. I would.
It's because of the way the hair follicles die.
Yeah. Dead follicles.
Yeah, because after your hair stops. Okay, so like how hair follicles work is when your hair falls out.
They kind of like grow up like this, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Well.
And then they keep growing.
So what hair is it's a bunch of dead cells.
It's different than fur.
Well, No, it's the same.
No, because fur only goes to a certain length. It stops.
Yes, but no, listen, that's how it's the same as hair. You just got to stop talking for a
Okay.
second so I can explain it. So, hair is a bunch of dead epithelial cells packed on top of each other being pushed out of a hair follicle, right? So, technically, your hair's dead. Your hair is dead. It's just dead cells being pushed out of the hair follicle, and what determines the color of your hair color is the color of the cells that are being pushed out after they die. Vibe. So, and when you age, the cells, they go away.
They go away.
The color of the cells.
They just go.
Well, no, the
They just pack and move to.
the protein that affects the color,
Yes.
just it goes away. So you either turn gray or white. Right.
Interesting.
But just like in animals, how animals shed, people shed too. And like once
Yeah, I saw that on like CSI.
Well, once your hair, like the hair strand has reached a certain length, it will be pushed out by a new strand, and that's why your hair falls out. Because all of your hairs only get to a certain length, and then they get pushed out, and you shed.
Interesting.
And what happens in male pattern baldness is that after the hair falls out of the follicle, it is not replaced by another hair, and that follicle just
done. Okay. Well, for a bunch of dead cells, there's still a lot of money and a lot of attention put towards hair.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah. It do.
You know, we were talking earlier about cannabis being around since the beginning of human time. You know, a lot of plants that we use and take kind of every day for granted have been around just as long as cannabis. And one of those plants was ginger. Do you like ginger? What can you tell me about ginger?
It's a root plant. And I like pickled ginger on my sushi. And it's good for you.
Okay, why would it be good for you?
Well, if you plug this in, I could think about that. It's been dead a minute. Your phone charger. Do you have a regular vape over there that you want to hand me? So my brain can do the thoughts.
Oh my God. You owe me a vape.
No, I'm just going to hit it a few times.
Well, no, your lips are touching it. I want a new one. You know, it's, no.
Greg said Ginger was trapped on an island with Mary and the professor and Gilligan.
Exactly. But you know what? That is actually a good representation of ginger. It's kind of spicy, kind of kind of hot. Not exactly for every day.
I don't. When I think of the flavor of ginger, I don't think of it as spicy. I just think of it as extremely tangy. Not spicy.
Extremely what?
Extremely tangy.
Tangy.
I don't think ginger is spicy.
All right. I thought you were saying danky, and I'm going, how are you getting danky out of ginger?
Tangy. Like what it does to your tongue. Like there has to be some.
Right. It's got some zip in it. It was originally from Southeast Asia. It is not a wild crop. It is a cultivated crop. Ginger does not grow in the wild. So, it's been around so long, and it's kind of related to turmeric and cardamom and a few other spices.
Turmeric and cardamom?
Yes.
Is it cardamom? No, that's coriander. Excuse me. Never mind.
But you can use ginger fresh, dried, powdered, as an oil, as a juice, as a tea. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do with it. Now, believe it or not, what do you think the active ingredients in ginger would be?
What the active ingredients are?
What's the active ingredient that gives it its power?
Like
Power.
like the chemicals?
Yeah.
Like the chemical, like the vitamins, or like the inorganic salts, or like what are you talking
Okay,
about?
we're going around. It's called gingerol.
Gingerol?
Yeah, isn't
Oh.
that surprising? Because
It's a compound.
yeah, it's
That's a compound.
that's the compound. But that's what ginger contains that gives it its zip and its properties. So we've used it a long time in cooking and flavoring, but it's also great for aiding in digestion and nausea. Actually, nausea is one of the big things it was used for early. Seasickness.
Yeah. I need to throw this out there real
Yes.
fast. Anna Rawls. We cannot see you. You need to go to the link streamyard.com/Facebook. I mentioned you in a comment with the link in it. So if you like,
come to us.
yes. If you'd like to be entered in our giveaways, allow StreamYard to use your Facebook information. They don't do anything with it. They just use it so you get entered into our giveaways. But right now I cannot see you on the StreamYard side of things.
I can't see you either.
The only reason I know your name is because I am moderating the comments from my phone.
Aha! You see, you can multitask.
So this last giveaway, real fast, I wanted to put it out there that it is an original rolling tray and 2 packs of papers.
And a beard oil.
Oh, you want to give away a beard oil again? We're giving away another beard oil.
Yeah, we're going to make just this a special giveaway tonight. And we were supposed to have a GrowFam code, but I didn't get that. I didn't get that done this week.
Sometimes we suck. It's okay. Because everybody sucks sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes we just get too many.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Too many projects going at one time.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Just think that, I've got enough time to get that done too.
Everybody sucks. Come on, sometimes.
People suck.
We all suck in our own way.
Mean people suck.
But so yeah, for this last giveaway,
I know this because I have a patch on my jacket that says that.
Beard oil of choice, 2 packs of limited edition Master Roachee rolling papers, and an original rolling tray. That's our last giveaway. Anywho, back to Ginger.
Back to Ginger.
Back to Ginger.
Yes, we're leaving the professor and Marianne and all out of this tonight. But ginger's also been used, besides in cooking, but in traditional medicine for 5,000-6,000 years.
Right.
And some of the newer findings on ginger that it actually boosts brain functions, which I did not know until I was doing some additional research on ginger, because I'm used to some of the normal stuff, which it's great for colds, sore joints, sore throats, tummy issues. Ginger's, it has so many different types of therapeutic values. And here's a little something, and this is great for this time of year. If you get one of these bugs that are going around, this is a little something that you might want to think about. And it's either a hot ginger cider or a hot ginger tea. How does that sound to you?
A hot ginger cider sounds nice, actually.
Yeah. And this is great for when you just feel, you got the head thing going on, the chest thing going on, feeling miserable. Warm up some hot cider, chop you some very fine, thinly sliced ginger, and in a tea ball. The tea ball, you can put your ginger in. If you're making just the ginger tea, just let it seep in the hot water. If you're making the cider, go ahead and drop that in, and just let it simmer, and taste it every once in a while to make sure you're not overpowering yourself. Then add a little bit of lemon, some honey. Now, honey. Now, this is a great place for use of your infused honey. because if you're all chest congested and just not feeling too great, you may not be interested in combustion or, some heavier edibles. So take a little bit of your infused honey and add this in and stir it up. And this is going to it's a very, very simple recipe, but extremely effective. And I love the taste of ginger anyway. I just I think it's great. And this is a pretty good tea to drink, even if you're not feeling sick. And it can also energize you a little bit. It'll make you feel all the way around a bit better. So that's hot cider, ginger, lemon, and honey. And for the adventurous types that want a little bit more heat, if the ginger's not enough for you, you could add a couple shots of pepper sauce.
Pepper sauce.
Yep.
To clear the sinuses.
Oh yeah. That will help open up. I like the pepper sauce in it, but a lot of people don't. So you can kind of check it out and see what you think.
Sandra said that Dreadful Delights makes an awesome infused honey.
Oh, I love infused honey.
Yeah.
Oh, did I lose?
So ginger is the root of the Zingenberg officinalis. Well, Zingenberg officinalis.
Well, it has anti-inflammatory properties.
Yes.
And ginger works inside the body as well as topically. So ginger is good for relieving some inflammation and some other things topically, as we know. So keep your eye out for the Master Roachee salve coming out soon. It's an antioxidant. So all of these things, it's amazing. So eat ginger, include it in your meals. Try it as a tea. It's something wonderful. And if you have a good ginger recipe, then share it.
Yes.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
This article says
that
you should eat it.
Yes.
Eat it.
Eat it.
Don't take. There aren't ginger supplements aren't necessary.
Eat it.
The best way.
That was Weird Al Yankovic. Eat it.
That's the best way to get the benefits from ginger is to eat it.
Yes. Eating it. You don't need to take a ginger supplement. Eating it, including it in your diet. The teas are a wonderful, wonderful way of getting it. I like Celestial Seasons teas, especially sleepy time. I like chamomile tea, but I'm thinking a little bit of ginger and a little bit of infused honey in that, and sweet dreams.
So I do want to put this out there as well.
Yes.
For those people that are wanting to incorporate. Oh, hang on. I got an issue. We got another Facebook user, and I don't know if it's Anna again or not, but I got to check. So I wanted to put this out there as well because I just read it while reading that article that I was looking at about ginger. That way I could be more educated. While discussing ginger with you.
I got my headphones off.
So it said that you just need to be careful. Ginger is an overall safe plant. However, if you are consuming ginger in high doses, you need to be careful because it does have anticoagulant properties.
Yes. If you're on an aspirin or a warfarin regimen, I would talk to your doctor about ginger.
About your ginger consumption.
And, we talk about, talking to your doctor in the medical profession because we're not doctors. We don't diagnose or treat anything.
No.
But whenever you start a new regimen, whether it be cannabis, cannabinoids, herbal, always talk to your doctor or at least your pharmacist because herbal does not mean weak. These have been around for thousands of years. It's what got mankind to the point where we could have, pharmaceuticals. So these can react with other medications that you're taking. So always consult a medical professional before starting on any type of these regimes or using any type of supplements.
Sherry Botker's got my back, and she be putting out the StreamYard links for people. John Schuett,
Thank you.
You are our Facebook user.
Oh, go ahead.
We need you to accept StreamYard into your heart and into your Facebook page so you can be included in our drawing to win a beard oil of choice, an original rolling tray of choice, and 2 packs of limited edition Master Roachee.
I know him.
Master Roachee unbleached hemp rolling papers.
Yep. You can't be in it to win it if we can't see you. So you got to grab that StreamYard link.
Yeah.
Yes, because we love to give this to you.
Sandra wants to know if we have CBD oil for dogs.
No, that is something that we've been looking into. As a matter of fact, a funny thing, when we made our beard oil, that was the other product that we were talking about was a CBD for pets, for dogs and cats. It is still in. It's something we want to do, yes, but it's going to take a while to get that developed.
Mom said yes, we do. Mom's trying to fight you.
Yeah, I know what your mom's saying. Yes,
she's trying to fight you.
Yes, we do have. Yes, we. Okay.
Mom said not for dogs. She then said she's commented again and said not for dogs.
Right.
I'm calling you out in the comments right now, Mom.
I have a formulation. We do not have any product available. How's that?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I have it. It's something that we want to do, but the product's not available yet. And hopefully by maybe the end of summer, if things go well for us, we can get that out.
Sounds to me like that's a solid. We're working on it.
We're working on it. We're to the point where we're looking for some investors and some, or maybe going to get it a loan.
Mom got booted.
Mom got booted.
Are you back now, Mom? What happened?
I didn't do it. Not this time.
Who booted Mom?
So help us grow, help us prosper. Give us a like and a share on YouTube. Stop by MasterRochee'sGarden.com. We've got some cool stuff coming to the website. Yes. Isaac, man, you are amazing. You're bringing so much new energy and positive stuff to the team. Love you, brother. But you're going to have to check out our website. I don't know if it's up yet or not, but we got something cool coming.
Well, and I don't know if y'all noticed our ticker going across the bottom, but 10% off Ambrosia Nights, February only. You're running out of time. It's the 20th today. This is a short month.
And 10% off if you sign up for our newsletter. And I do believe you can stack those codes.
Oh.
So that is 20% off on a purchase. So
on Ambrosia Nights.
On Ambrosia Nights, 20% off on Ambrosia Nights. So that's a pretty hefty thing. If anybody wants to check out, probably one of my favorite formulations. That and Golden Medley. Those two are my favorites.
Yes.
So. Check us out. We thank you for your support. We really appreciate this. Back to ginger, though.
Back to ginger.
As long as we've been using it for food flavorings and breads, and I love ginger cookies. I love gingerbread.
Like ginger snaps.
Yes, I love ginger. That's probably my favorite cookie. Yes, I like ginger snaps. They're probably not real healthy way of getting your ginger, but it's a way to get your ginger, right?
Oh, James La Da Bush.
Okay.
Says hello from FetMaps.
Oh, hello, James. Yeah, we Crystal. and was telling me, reminded me that we need to get together and talk at some point. I'm sorry, there's several people I need to get back with. I'm trying. I know Mrs. Bearded Buds is one of them, and I need to get back in touch with her too. So anyway,
Ginger.
As long as we've been using it for food flavorings and for the medicinal properties, they've also been used in more religious and magical contexts.
Ooh.
So, ginger, the kind of the cool thing about ginger is it's like a steroid, I guess.
Like a steroid?
Yeah, for a lot of stuff, it's used to increase the other ingredients you're working with. I use black pepper in another thing medicinally, because black pepper by itself doesn't do a whole lot, but black pepper and added into other formulations helps those compounds work together. So that's kind of what ginger does in that area, but it also brings with is associated with abundance and prosperity. It's good fortune, luck. And there's some other properties, I guess. I guess sensuality would be one. Sexuality. Ginger is also a very good love herb.
Love herb.
So, for those that are into the botanical magic and interested in the other things that these herbs do besides just medicinal value and cooking value, and I found a recipe for ginger chicken. I'm trying to get your mom to make
ginger chicken.
I think that sounds really good. Check it out. I think you're going to be surprised with some of the cool stuff that ginger does. I'm just kind of touching base, kind of sort of with that tonight.
Mom, I was playing around a little bit with the layouts. Just fiddling.
Fiddling?
Yeah.
Are you fiddling?
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Well, I think it looks good.
Well, I
like it.
Switching back and forth in between them, playing around with it a little bit.
Well, how are we doing on this giveaway?
We've got 15 people in it.
All right. Well, you know what? What's the number?
What's the number?
How many people do we need in here to give this away?
You know what? How about we do this instead? If you want a bottle of Master Roachee's beard oil and you are not entered into this giveaway, hashtag ginger right now, and I'm going to set a 5-minute timer. If you know any of your friends that you would like to share Master Roachee beard oil, get them in on this hashtag. Like I said, I will set a 5-minute timer to get the last of our little stragglers in
5
here
minutes.
For this giveaway.
2 minutes.
Once again, you will be receiving a Master Roachee's beard oil of choice, a original rolling tray of choice of color, which we have aqua and orange, and then 2 packs of limited edition unbleached hemp rolling papers. Limited edition. Not sold on our website. The only place people have been getting them is through these giveaways, because that's just how special they are.
You know what? I think we need to make up I think I'm going to send Michael some beard oil in a rolling tray, and I need to reach out and get his address.
I dig that.
So yeah, I'm going to do that. I want to send Michael his little something from us. He was a great guest. Look forward to having him back on again on this program, maybe on another one. He's just full of information. Beautiful, beautiful man. And I just dearly love the people that I've gotten to meet through the industry. And he is just one fine example of that.
Tony, you can hashtag if you want, my dear. Once if you, I don't know if you've won or not before, if that's why you feel guilty, but we're giving away right now a beard oil, a rolling tray, and 2 packs of papers. If you want to hashtag, I got my little timer going here. We got about 4 minutes left. If y'all want an opportunity to win beard oil, an original rolling tray, and 2 packs of a limited edition, unbleached, Master Roachee rolling papers.
And soon, I would say within the next month, we will have slaps and some other stuff to start including.
Yes.
We're going through the kind of the design process right now, working on it.
Yes.
So stay tuned, and we will have even more cool stuff to give away.
Yes. But yeah, if you want an opportunity to win, give us a hashtag ginger. Hashtag ginger.
Hashtag ginger.
Hashtag ginger.
No hashtag Marianne. No hashtag the captain. Certainly no hashtag the Howls. I don't know. I will take hashtag Lovey.
Ginger. Fun ginger facts.
Fun ginger facts.
Facts. Fun facts are my favorite kind of facts.
Okay, yes, because they're not really relevant to much of anything, yes, but they are just interesting. Yes, I dig it.
If they aren't fun ginger facts, or if they aren't fun facts, then what are they?
Lay it on me.
Then what are they? Hang on. We've got another Facebook user in our midst. I am going to decipher who this is on Facebook real fast. That way they can hashtag ginger.
Hashtag ginger.
Hashtag ginger. And have an opportunity to win our good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, I'm really happy we're on Mondays because I hate Mondays. And I know that I'm not the only one out there. And hopefully we're bringing some fun and some information and some positivity. It's a big word for me on Mondays. It's a big word for me this late. To everybody. I'm hoping that you're enjoying this and will share our message.
Anthony Laria. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and allow StreamYard to use your Facebook information. They don't sell it to third parties or anything like that. That way you can hashtag ginger and be entered in our giveaway to win our top-notch products.
Wonderful. I'm digging it. Yep, we want to help everybody out, and that's what we're about. It's balance and harmony and peace and love and good vibrations, and how you achieve that. It's an active lifestyle for being very laid back. But there's a lot of things that you have to do and have to learn to kind of dig the peace, love, and good vibes lifestyle.
Are you ready for my fun facts?
I am ready. Lay it on me.
Okay, so ginger is actually a rhizome, not a root.
Rhizome, not a root.
A rhizome is an underground stem. Which, I mean, that sounds like a root to me, but it's not. There's a difference.
Is that like
oh my gosh, it's getting too late for you.
Just a question.
It's
You're the medical
too
professional
late
here.
for you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No, okay. So like the stem has different functions than the roots. The roots pull water to the plant, as to where the stem is more like
support. Like
the tunnel that carries nutrients and stuff. It doesn't pull stuff. And support, yes. So yeah. Rhizomes are just plants that grow underground rather than above ground. So that's what that.
But different than tubulars.
Yes, I think tubulars are more roots. Anthony, if that's you, I can't see you yet. So I will. My timer did go off, but I will give you the opportunity to get the situation taken care of.
All right.
What, Ma? I don't know what Mom said.
I think Anthony has had ample time. Let's give this away. That's what I think.
Oh, Mom said it's not Anthony, it's Anna Rails.
Oh.
Well, Anna has had
ample time. Yes. So let's spin this. Let's get a happy winner.
And there will always be next Monday.
Always next Monday.
All right, 18 in it. Hashtag Ginger.
Wonderful. We thank everybody for sticking around with us. We never know on this one. We never know how long this is going to go.
No,
Yeah, Thursday nights we stick to about an hour, but with guests, and we don't want to rush them. We want to be able to really engage and gain their wisdom. So these programs can run a little longer, but I hope everybody's enjoying it as much as we are putting it on.
Jane Hardy Cornelius. Show us that you're here in the comments.
Yeah, show us that you are still in the house. Show us. Is Jane in the house?
She said, that's me. Wow, thank you.
All right, congratulations. Caitlin, does Jane know what to do?
Are you ready, Jane? Do you know what to do? Well, if you don't, I'm going to tell you. What we're going to need you to do is we're going to need you to go to Master Roachee's Facebook page. It is the public figure page for Master Roachee, and we're going to need you to send him a direct message with your address, the scent of beard oil that you want. Our choices are Nag Champa and Oak Moss and Amber.
I dig the Nag Champa, but that's just my personal opinion. Mama Roachee likes the Oak Moss Amber better, and I don't know what Caitlin thinks. I don't really care, but.
And then we also need to know what color of.
At all?
I'll give you my comments in a minute. I'm trying to give her instructions. Goodness gracious. I don't know how they expect me to work under these conditions. Anyway, Jane, we need to know what color of original rolling tray you would prefer. Either aqua or orange. And lastly, you're going to be also receiving 2 packs of limited edition Master Roachee's Garden unbleached hemp rolling papers.
And you're going to dig them.
Oh, I got something in my eye.
Earache?
No, there's
earache in my eye.
There's something in my eye.
Earache in my eye. My ass.
Anna, I can still not see you. Maybe try closing out Facebook and then going into your web browser and going to StreamYard.com/Facebook and then doing that and then closing that out and then going back in to our live through Facebook. You want another ginger fact?
We'll do one more ginger fact, and then I think it's time for us to say goodnight.
I think so as well.
Yes. So hit me with one more ginger fact.
Okay, so one more ginger fact is you can grow ginger from rhizomes found at the grocery stores. Right. So that means that, like, you just go pick up ginger at your grocery store and you can make.
Yeah, actually, it's not a bad idea. Again, for some of my magical botanical friends out there, it's nice to be able to grow your own ginger. It can do some things for your spaces, and on top of that, you have it for your medicinal and culinary needs.
I think it's nice to be able to grow any kind of plant.
Oh, certainly. Certainly grow your own stuff, grow it organically. You know what you're using and all aspects of what you're working with. You don't want your herbs contaminated.
Well, I think even if you there are certain vegetable and fruit growers that try to gatekeep plants. And I know you're probably thinking, what? But
no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like the pink pineapples. Have you heard about the pink pineapples?
Nope. Pink lemonade.
No, there are pink pineapples. And growers of pink pineapples have attempted to gatekeep, the pink pineapples from other people. That way, other people cannot grow pink pineapples.
Right.
However,
because the scarcity keeps prices up.
Yes.
And, I can see that.
However, people have found workarounds.
Well, yeah. In this day and age, that's not difficult on some of this stuff.
Well, because like for pineapples, for example, you grow the new pineapple plant from you chop off its crown and then you grow the new pineapple plant from that.
Mm-hmm.
But what a lot of people don't know is there's actually seeds inside pineapples.
Yes.
You just gotta find them. You gotta seek them out.
You heard it here. Seek out the pineapple seed.
Don't let other fruit and vegetable growers gatekeep you from your dreams. You can grow whatever you want to.
Yes, like pink pineapples.
Yes.
Let that be an inspiration to all of us.
And pine berries. You can grow pine berries too. You know about pine berries?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Pine berries are a special breed of strawberries that are cultivated to be sweeter, and they aren't red. They are all white with red seeds.
I have heard. I have seen those actually in seed catalogs, but I was never sure exactly what they were.
Anna, I can see you now. So
Anna!
Now you should be good for
Yay.
future lives. The next lives that we have, you're good. You're good now.
Would you like to say goodnight, Kate?
Yes, I think on that note, guys, we're gonna head out. We've got some pictures that we got to take and some dances we have to choreograph and all that good jazz. So good night, fam. We'll see you on Thursday, hopefully.
Yep. Check us out on Master Roachee's Garden on Facebook and also on on YouTube live streaming.
Yep.
Thursdays at 9:00. And
if we don't see,
interesting.
Yep. If we don't see you on Thursday, we'll see you on Monday. But I will say Thursdays do get a little bit saucier than Monday night.
Yeah, things kind of go off the rails on Thursdays. But as always, peace, love, and good vibes. Good night, my friends.